This is a HeadGum podcast.
I'm going to start it off like this.
Okay.
We're going to fade it in with the music, and it's nice.
Okay.
Oh, and you dress like you could have been one of the Sandlot players. Has anyone ever told you that?
No, but I really wanted to when I was a kid.
You dress
I
now?
did like the little their button-up shirt undone, and I like ride my bike and pretend I was in the Sandlot.
Standing up while you're riding your bike, and the coattails of your shirt are caping out behind you. Imagine a little kid with Owen's head. All of them are wearing what Owen wears every day. White t-shirt, jeans.
I don't even wear hats now. I did then though.
Why'd you stop wearing hats, Owen?
You know why?
Oh, is that really why?
We don't talk about it.
Is what really why?
You're saying a joke? You know why?
No, you know why. I've said it before.
Why you don't wear hats?
Are you going to say it now, or is
I
it not
think
a
the
podcast
reason.
thing?
I think I know the reason, but it might be incorrect.
Okay.
These are some good sounds for the podcast right now.
What's the reasons that it's 100% your fault?
Well, I just didn't want to shut off Owen's mic while he's talking.
This is kind of monumentous that he's talking.
No, it's the other one, isn't it? Oh no,
What?
it is this one.
It's this one, 100%.
Whatever. It's an old bit. It's dead.
A lot of our bits are accidentally dead. You ever realize that?
Yeah, but this one's purposefully dead. Is the reason why because wait, you tell us the reason why. I don't want to say what I think the reason is because I don't know if that's the real reason.
Because I don't have a head for hats.
You don't have a hat?
Oh, well that's not true.
What
I
does
put
that
some
mean?
hats on you. He thinks his head doesn't look good. He thinks hats don't look good on him.
Somebody toss this kid a hat. What's wrong with your head, man?
It's fine. It just doesn't.
There's the compost hat is on the table over there.
You have a hat made of older
Compost, yeah.
older hats?
Trash. Isn't it over there, or did I put it in my room?
Put the trash hat on.
Shit. No, it should be over there on the table, right?
Put this bowl on your head.
Is it not on the table? No. What did I do? Did I just put it in my room? There's a hat up on the hat rack. Get in there. Get in there and grab a hat.
I would rather throw myself off this balcony.
What if I threw myself off the balcony? What if we all threw ourselves off the balcony on the podcast?
I wouldn't go last. I'll tell you that right now. I would have to go first or nothing.
Okay. Yeah, see? Well, that's a bad hat.
That's a bad hat.
That's a bad hat.
That hat has nothing to do with your head.
Yeah, that hat has nothing to do with it.
It's a
you picked that
hilarious
one
hat.
because it's a bad hat.
I just grabbed it because it was close. They all look like that.
No, they
There's
don't.
no
That's just a
way.
bad hat. Look at him from the side.
Dude, I've never seen a hat fold in on itself like
It's
that
okay.
in my life.
It's okay not to have a head.
Guess
for
what,
hats.
Owen? You're wrong. You're visually seeing something, and I know it's fine.
I
'cause
don't
you
feel bad about it.
Well, here's the thing, though.
Are you starting to?
I don't have a body for dresses either. What's your point?
You know what? I think that might be untrue, too.
Put on a dress. Put on the compost dress.
You know what, ma'am? I realize as an adult that perception of yourself is so different from how people see you.
As an adult?
No, just as a person. Perception.
I think when I was like in my teens and early 20s, you're 100% right. I think now as a 31-year-old, I think that I see myself almost exactly like everybody else
I
sees
think
me.
that's untrue. Because when you look in the mirror, you're seeing things that only you know you're unhappy with.
You're right.
And that you think is a flaw.
You're right.
Other people, like Zoya, for instance, probably doesn't
remind
see.
me?
Zoya's the one that I think you're going to marry really soon.
Got it. Sorry, go ahead.
But she'll look at you and not see those things.
Uh-huh.
Because those are the things that either you kept inside and don't tell anybody because there's no reason to.
Right.
Or that like you told her about it some time ago, years ago, and she already ignored it and doesn't see it the way you do.
Or ignores most of the
Or
things.
ignores most of the things you say.
I'll say this. One of the reasons why you're not wrong about anything that you said. One of the reasons why I think I'm unbelievably self-aware of what I look like is because I've been editing video of my face all the time
Yeah.
on all my free time
Yeah.
for the past 10
Well,
years.
I think
I've looked at myself a lot.
But I also think that like you probably own an article of clothing that like you never wear.
Yeah.
Because maybe you bought it because you liked it or someone gifted it to you.
Yeah.
And you put it on and you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, ugh.
Oh,
I don't
so
like
many.
this.
So
right?
many.
Like my
Yeah,
closet is 80% clothes like that.
Would you say chock full?
I'd say chock full. If you watch most of the stuff I do, if you watch some of my videos and like you see my Instagrams, or if you browse through my Instagram,
I've done it.
you'll notice that there are maybe 7 things I wear.
Yeah. I think I'm similar.
And most people might be like that, but it's because you see yourself in something and you're like, ugh, I look ugly or gross or fat or it's just not a good color on me.
Yeah.
And someone else will look at that and be like, that looks really good on you.
Huh.
Just like Owen today. Owen said his head is not for hats.
Yeah.
But I've seen him wear hats and I think he looks great in them.
Okay.
And I think he can pull it off. In fact, there's a photo of Owen on the internet somewhere. You might not have to look hard for it.
OwenInAHat.com.
OwenInAHat.com.
It's a landing page.
Hashtag Owen in a hat. But if you go, don't go and look for this. But there is a photo of Owen on the internet where he's wearing like a page boy hat and he's at the Ghostbusters firehouse and he took like a selfie. He's got like a big old bushy beard and he's got a hat on and he looks great.
I could see him with a newsy type hat.
Yeah, and it
Is
looks
that the
great.
same
Yeah,
thing
he
you're
rocked
talking
it.
about?
Yeah, he rocked it.
Yeah.
Do you remember that, O?
He threw
looking. I
himself
think he's
off the
looking for
balcony.
it. Are you looking for it? I hope you're looking for it.
He's just looking
Your
down.
mic's live, by the way, over there.
This is History Road. You should be playing the piano.
This is History Road. This is an entire History Road episode.
Somebody wrote. We've just been reading all this the whole time.
Yeah. So, and I've learned that about myself too. And I'm just becoming aware of this, I feel like, because I mean, not necessarily. I think I'm just more coming to terms with it. And I'm actually think about it more often than not. Before I never thought about it. And then I would maybe see a photo of myself someone took at a party where I feel like I look like shit.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh shit, I actually look pretty good that night.
That's pretty good.
And that's always a nice surprise, but that's just because I'm unaware of my own personal feelings about myself sometimes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I watched you buy an article of clothing recently that you could have already had 1,000 times.
Yeah.
It was a different color of an article of clothing.
That I already have, yeah. Yeah. I do that a lot.
It's pretty good.
Because I feel like, we have a style. We have a style of clothing we wear.
Yeah.
And and we go through phases sometimes.
Yeah.
And right now I got a phase, I think.
Yeah.
But whatever.
You know what's funny?
This is what it is.
And please don't take any offense to
Go
this.
for it.
And I know at some level you will take offense to this, and I hope that fades quickly.
Okay.
If someone was like, when you're this age, you're going to have a friend who wears the following things. I don't think that version of me hearing that would have wanted to be friends. That being said, fast forward to right now, you're one of my closest friends.
I love that.
And that's not going anywhere
Yeah.
anytime soon. I hope. We'll see.
I mean, you could definitely, like, if you wanted to take, like, 3 or 4 of the, like... if you wanted to take 3 or 4 random traits that are potentially less than favorable about someone and then give those traits to the kid version of yourself and say that's a person you'll be hanging out with later, I think 9 times out of 10 people will be like, what? No.
Yeah. You're going to hang out with this one girl? Whoa, is she conniving? Best listener, though.
Yeah. I'd be like, I don't think I want that.
No, I don't know. What does she wear?
Oh man, this has been I've been a busy boy lately, Mike, and I'm getting kind of tired.
That's I'm gonna be bright side guy. I'm gonna be silver lining guy.
No, I mean you don't have to be, but go for it.
Well, I don't want to. If we're both,
you don't want to
out,
play
no good.
sad cop.
I'm just thinking if we're sad cop's the worst game. If we're both bummed out,
yeah,
I know I wouldn't listen.
Yeah.
Like when you send me the file to upload onto the internet, I usually take a listen.
Yeah.
And if at this point I was like, yeah, you know what, me too, I'd be like, well, I'm going to throw a title on this thing and we'll see what happens.
Right.
It's a blessing to work so much.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is.
You know?
Yeah. And I think when people are stressed out or like bummed out at their job or something.
Yeah.
Not to say that these are specific examples of what I'm going through, but I'd say that none of those people are unappreciative of what they have.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if you want to list out the positive aspects of things, then that's totally fine. Because I do that all the time.
Yeah.
I spend most of my day having to convince the people in my life that for sure there are good things.
Yeah, you are the bright side guy.
Yeah, I'm always that guy. But every once in a while I get a little tired and I get a little overworked and stressed out, and there's a lot on my plate and there's a lot of decisions and bills and just all these things. And these are things most people can relate to.
Hell yeah.
It's just, something to talk about, I guess.
Especially like tiredness
Yeah.
is a tough thing to work your way out of.
Yes.
Because that's it's not like a mindset as much as it is like a physical feeling.
Right.
And if you're too tired and you have no gas left in the tank, it's hard to like drink a coffee and like try to recharge sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
It's hard to, everybody's got days, weeks, months, years.
Anyway, that's the show this week. And we hope that you guys are doing well.
You know what? Owen's making me uncomfortable just sitting on the piano over there.
Is he still sitting over there?
I know he's on his phone, but it looks like he's just staring down at the keys like a creep.
When is the last page of this musical going to come to
Owen,
me?
what are you doing over there?
I hate when he does creepy things and doesn't talk.
Yeah.
That's my least favorite.
Well, I don't hate it. It's just very frustrating.
Should I call him?
Well, it doesn't look like he's texted me anything. So
Let me check my phone. Nope. Nothing here. Nothing here from Owen. I'm going to text him. I'll let you know what's up.
Text Owen and tell me if he's at least doing okay. Because from here, it doesn't look like it.
He doesn't. He doesn't answer any of my texts. I got I made this picture. If you could explain this picture to the audience the other day.
Yeah, I love it. You showed that to me.
I sent this to him. I think it would be a great phone background.
Yeah.
And
I would do that.
Will you send
that?
Did
you send that to me?
Yeah, man.
Okay, then I'm going to use that as my phone background for sure.
Great.
Right now I have T232 and D2D2 on my from Star on my phone.
Who is that?
The ones up there. See them on top of the piano? 2-3-D-2 and
the man with the sombrero?
3-3-3-3-3-3-3-3-3-3-3-3-3-3-3-3.
And they're from a star?
The gold one is from a star.
Sure.
Will said one of the funniest things to me that I'll never forget. When we were at Disneyland once, we were on Star Tours.
Yeah.
We were going through the line at Star Tours, and there was this doorway that have you been on Star Tours before, right?
I don't remember. I don't think so.
It's the one that's the Star Wars simulator ride, where when you get in the line.
No, I don't think so.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. You went to Disney World, right?
Yeah.
That's the place you went to?
Yep.
Have you not been to Disneyland at all?
I've not been to Disneyland at all.
Wow. What is your interest level in that? Going to Disneyland?
Low to moderate.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I would just... I have nothing against it. I would just rather do... I'm not going to say almost anything, but so many other things.
Wow. Are you not a theme park fan?
I don't really care that much. I care about being good at things I'm trying to do.
You know what's interesting to me, Mike? I'm just realizing.
Are you gonna shit all over my dreams?
Definitely not. But I'm gonna make an example out of you.
I'll take it.
One of our first bonding experiences, which might have even happened, which might have been the direct result, or actually it might have been the very first.
Losing me.
I think I lost everybody. I think I was losing most people.
Lost a sponsor.
It was one of our... Harry's is like,
I don't know.
No. We don't need an indecisive thinkers
That
here.
was a rocky start to that conversation.
It might have been one of the first times we ever really hung out alone together.
Okay.
And the time I'm referring to is when we were at Universal Studios together.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, that was a great night, man.
So that was a great night, and I think back on it fondly, and I think about all the fun we had.
Yeah.
We had a great time, and I have photos of that too
Yeah.
that we've posted before, and it was a really fun time getting to hang out in like a theme park with you. That was fun.
Sure.
That's where the slime thing came from, and that was really good.
Yeah.
It was a good bit. But everyone was really excited when they were like, when Playlist was like, surprise, we like bought Universal Studios for a night.
Yeah.
And
It's an amazing
and we
thing
opened
to
it to
do.
the creators,
Yeah.
which was like fucking amazing and
Yeah.
wonderful. And Playlist, the people behind Playlist are amazing. And
I remember thinking that night, like, no one gets this.
Yeah.
And we're never going to have this experience again. I
Yeah.
remember being very grateful.
and I remember thinking like, this isn't like, I didn't deserve this.
No. We didn't do anything to earn that.
Yeah, like I felt like I was riding on John Green's coattails.
Yeah.
Like the
For
people.
Playlist?
Well, I mean, I know that he runs VidCon, but he's like a very popular YouTuber,
Right.
Who is the type of person that Playlist would like pay to close Universal down for.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like not necessarily me.
Right.
So I remember thinking like, wow, I just snuck into this and I don't deserve this and this is really cool. But I
Yep.
remember I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan.
No.
At all. And everyone was like, "Oh shit, we're gonna go to like Harry
Yeah,
Potter
flipping
World."
out. Yeah.
And people were flipping their shit, and
Yeah.
rightfully so. I mean, if it was like a Lord of the Rings theme park, I would have been like, fucking way okay.
Yeah.
I'd be like flipping my shit.
Yeah.
And but like the people we were with were like freaking the fuck out about it.
Very happy.
And I was just like, okay, like I'm gonna hang out with these people and we're gonna go into Harry Potter World and like I might buy something for my mom or my sister-in-law. And I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan, but I'll probably still have fun. And and it'll probably look cool. I like dragons and I like magic, so I'll probably have fun.
Yeah.
And I remember we were getting out of the bus, and I wasn't with you yet, but I got out of the bus and I saw you and I saw like Ava and Megan Tonjes and like some other people. And I was like, oh shit, Mike Falzoon, fuck yeah, I'm gonna fucking hang out with you. And like hang out with Tonjes and all these people. We're gonna fucking go in there. And I remember going over to you and going like, hey man, do you like Harry Potter at all? And you were like, nah. So I was like, perfect. We're gonna have a great time.
And then we did the oldest thing we could possibly do.
Well, I want to say though, and this is the
say
point I'm
everything.
trying to get to.
Yeah, sorry.
It was really your decision. Like I remember thinking, this is what happened.
Yeah.
Everyone's walking up to the Harry Potter part of the park.
Very exciting.
And you were like, yeah, I'm going to check out that Simpsons land.
Yeah.
And I remember saying like, oh, you want to, well, why don't we go into the Harry Potter place with everybody first?
Yeah.
And then you and I can ditch out early and go to Simpsons. And you were like, nah, I don't want to go into the Harry Potter world. And I was like, okay. Like, do you like hate it? And you were like, no, I just wasn't feeling it. And so I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck all those people. We're going to hang out. I'm going to hang out with Mike Falzone.
Yeah.
And we're going to go to the Simpsons land, which we did. And we went on the Simpsons ride.
It was great.
And we took pictures on the Back to the Future car and all that stuff. And we walked around and we had a great time. But we stayed the fuck away from Harry Potter World.
Yeah, we did.
But I want it to be known that this was your decision.
I'll take it. I wouldn't feel any different if we went right now.
So why is that? Why were you like, I don't want to see that?
You know, I'm sure it's all very cool.
Yeah.
I don't really care about Harry Potter stuff.
But you were like, really like, nah.
I grew up on The Simpsons. And
that was like a Simpsons world.
I saw Krusty Land. And
Yeah.
I was like, I've played video games in Krusty Land. I've watched episodes where that was a prominently featured thing.
Yeah.
I've never cared about Harry Potter stuff
Right.
at all.
So
I
you
think
were
that's
just
okay.
like, okay, but
I'd rather
so
go
you
in
just
there-
preferred to go to the Simpsons.
I'd rather
place.
go in there and have an enjoyable experience knowing that we have limited time in the park and on this earth I'd rather go in there and enjoy that than go in here and see some cool stuff, but half get it and not really be invested. Yo, perfect example. And I said this to Ava after I made her feel bad for making fun of her for
because she cried.
Stuff. She cried.
She cried, and we both kind of like had a jab, took a jab,
100%, because
but it was a friendly jab.
I thought we were just making fun of each other.
Yes.
And anyway, this will explain everything. If there was a theme park, if that theme park had a WWE corner.
It did?
If
it did.
I would fully expect almost no one I know
to go with you.
to go with me or to want to go at all.
Right.
For any reason.
Right. So you were just projecting kind of like the way you would have dealt with that situation if it were you. So like you were kind of like, I am not interested in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to go somewhere and pretend to have fun with something that like I'm really zero interested in.
Right. So I'm like, you go and you have the most amount of fun to everybody else, knowing that they would do that anyway.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not gonna be the guy asking questions or
right. You don't want to be
getting
that guy.
it. I'm not gonna be half excited.
And also, you don't want to
when you guys are full tilt.
Yeah.
You know?
And you don't want to bum anybody out. You don't want someone to be like, why is that guy not having fun?
Yeah. Don't think about me. Just go do your Harry Potter
very
shit.
Selfless of you.
I think you can go either way. I think you say that's very selfless because you don't want to hold anybody back, or that's very selfish because you only want to do what you want to do.
Well, but nobody was like, we're not going to have fun if Mike Falzone
100% selfless
doesn't come.
And then, to be fair, if you didn't want to go to Simpsons Land, I would have been like, cool.
Yeah.
Enjoy yourself doing whatever you're doing. I'm going to go to the fucking Simpsons Land.
You're right.
Check it out.
I made a decision based on wanting to have a good time with my friend.
And then what you did was you chose a favorite.
I chose a favorite. Yeah, I kind of did. But I think everybody would have appreciated the gesture of like not really wanting to bring anybody down while they're having a fucking blast in Harry Potter world.
Sure. Also, their fun is not based on me at all.
Also, remember when we said we didn't like Metallica?
Yeah.
We lost doubly more people by saying we both don't like Harry Potter.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I think it's okay too.
You know why that's okay? I don't know why I just lost interest in this show. Do you know why that happened subconsciously? Harry Potter's fine, by the way. Was that a Harry Potter song, that last one? It's when Harry and Gryffindor are running through the nuclear plants.
Harry met Simpsons.
I don't even remember what the fuck I was going to say. Man.
Well, I think you were going to say that because I said we lost a lot of listeners.
Oh,
of Harry Potter.
So I have a lot of friends who fucking love Harry Potter.
Yeah, same.
I'm still friends with them.
Same.
So
yes.
if these people don't want to listen to us just because we
then
like
those
different
weren't
things
friends to begin with,
right? Then you'd have already wasted too much of your time. You gotta bounce.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So with this theme park feeling,
yeah,
that I get from you, it's not necessarily associated with theme parks in general. It's just associated with your interests. Do you feel like there are zero things for you to be interested in at Disneyland?
No.
Thanks for listening, guys. That's the end of the show.
And that was History Road.
Yeah, that whole thing was just a story we read.
No, man.
It wasn't our opinions.
I like Disney. There are just so many things that I would do before it.
Okay.
And that's the thing. Zoya really wants to see it.
Can I have some percentages from you really quick?
Any kind? Any kind of
I think they should be ones in regards to what I'm about to ask you.
Okay.
Can I?
It makes it easier to answer when you ask.
Okay. How much of a percentage of you wanting to or not wanting to go to Disneyland has to do with how much it costs to go there?
Oh, I don't really think about that too much.
Okay, because it is really expensive.
How much is really expensive?
Oh, no.
With park.
Oh, no. You didn't know?
No.
You have no ballpark idea?
No.
I think this is going to make you not want to go more.
Well, I already don't. I don't think it's going to hinder too much because I would still like to go to do something nice for Zoya. So, I mean, we've done very expensive.
Selfless.
Very expensive things so that one or both of us could have a good time on a special day. You don't go to, unless you're fucking you or somebody with like a pass, you don't go there every weekend, every other weekend.
Right. Well, even me with a pass wouldn't go there every weekend.
So give me a...
Part of me wants to, but another part of me...
All I'm
Michael
saying
Jackson
is
song.
Fucking Zoya and the pad. So many good songs. Zoya went to WrestleMania with me, so I will go anywhere with Zoya.
Aw, but
Zoya,
she kind of likes it.
Yo, she does. Not as much as I do, but she does. I didn't drag her there, but she agreed to go to WrestleMania on her birthday weekend.
Wow.
So I will go to Disneyland with her at least once.
Bree also like doesn't really like Disneyland at all, but she goes with me. God bless her. She'll go with me even though she fucking doesn't like crowds. Crowds like make her feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And like me, she's not really into kids.
Sure.
And kids kind of ruin it. But it's like, it's
there kids at
Disneyland.
Disney?
It's for kids. Well, I have a joke when I'm at Disneyland and there's like kids screaming and crying and they're like running around and it's like a nightmare.
Yeah.
I say, what is this, Kids Day? Out loud at Disneyland.
Every day, every
which
time?
is a good joke because...
I'll tell you why.
Let me tell you why this is a good joke. Can I break this joke down for you guys?
No, skip to the part where that's over. It's for kids.
It is, well, it's for everyone, if we're being honest.
I know way more fucking nerdy adults that love that shit.
Let me tell you something about Disneyland that isn't just what your preconceived notions of it are, Mike Falzone. Mr. Walter Elias Disney one day took his daughter to the park where there was a carousel.
Is this the History Road? I'm confused.
Owen, would you please? Give him a sec.
What the fuck? Is he putting music down? Please be putting music down. What if you looked behind us and he had like a powdered wig?
And then suddenly that was a harpsichord? One day, Walter Elias Disney, he was at a park.
Is this going to make me want to go more or less?
His daughter was riding the carousel.
Yeah.
Happy. Waving, laughing. Hi, Dad. Walt waving back. Oh, hey. Sorry, that made him sound older than he was at the time.
Could he talk at this point?
But, but he was...
Is he eating a churro?
He was just, his daughter's far away. Whatever he was going to say, she wasn't going to hear anyway.
Muffled, sure.
So he's doing the... you've done it. He waved to his daughter. She waved back. And then Walt looked around and noticed that at the other benches, circling the carousel, there were other adults sitting, watching their children have a great time on the carousel, laughing, joyful, making memories. Walt exchanged glances with those other adults. Little nod here and there, maybe another wave if they're friendly enough. And then he realized, one day, I will make a place where adults and children can enjoy wonderful rides together.
So, like, with seats big enough that both of them can fit?
And you can tell everybody that this is our song. So, yeah. It might be quite special, but... Oh, okay. Never mind. I hope you don't mind. I hope you don't mind. Anyway, yeah. So he wanted a place where adults and kids could have fun on rides together.
Okay.
And that's why he made Disneyland. So guess what? It's not just a kid's place.
Good.
It's for adults as well.
What's today? Kids Day?
So anyway, the reason why I brought it up, it's a great joke. Thank you. I said it. Sorry. I was thinking ahead to Will's joke, which is a great joke.
Yeah.
But so it's not money, huh? That's not the reason why you're not. Well, how much do you think it costs to go to Disneyland? One ticket, one park.
$150.
Well, I actually pulled up. The tickets prices.
The tickets.
The current ticket prices.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you the price right now.
I could have ran home and checked on the desktop before this happened.
One day, one park, just Disneyland or California Adventure.
Yeah.
Cost $95 each.
Okay. Plus park.
Plus parking,
$35.
which is 20.
Okay.
So, plus gas if you're counting. One day, one park ticket. I'm sorry, one day, one park. Peak. Oh, there's value, regular, and peak hours. Well, I guess peak would be like the summer.
We're going
during the
off
summer.
peak.
It's $119 a ticket. And if you want the 2 parks, you want to go to California Adventure and Disneyland in the same day, $200
Big day.
each.
Damn, dog.
So it's not cheap,
It's not cheap.
but you can get an annual pass. And
I
want to
make a park where poor families
Can you play Tuppence?
could hang out.
Feed the birds for this one? Play Feed the Birds for Mike while he says, I want to make a park.
Where no one in particular could enjoy themselves and eat without guilt.
Well, guess what? That's called The Park. It exists already.
Oh, okay.
That was Walt's favorite song.
That was Walt's favorite song. Thank you, Owen. That was sweet and beautiful. Wonderful. But,
I'm not hating on it. Just like the Harry Potter shit. I'm not hating on Harry Potter.
no, yeah,
shit.
I know you're not. I just, I love Disneyland. Like, I'm
Yeah.
a fucking Disney freak. You been to my house, Mike?
Yes. I promise. These are different.
I don't know if you know, just this middle one's different. It's from Lost.
Okay.
Another Disney thing. Got a lot of Disney shit in my house. I love Disney. I will go anytime, anywhere, with anyone.
Okay.
And I would love to go to Disneyland with you. I know I don't want to go when you take Zoya because that's a special day.
Yeah. Don't go then.
But
Unless you want to like show us around. And
I was going to say, unless you want someone that'll show you around, and trust me.
Yeah, because I don't want to be there and be fumbling around.
Yeah.
It would be nice to have a tour.
Then I love doing that for people. I love going on people's first times there. Because first of all, it's very exciting for me because I
just want you to dress in a suit and not look at us.
I think there's another service where you could pay someone to do that.
And
that
you
would
have-
enjoy to do it.
And you're holding a rickshaw and we're in the back of the rickshaw.
I love going with people who have never gone because it's like recapturing the joy of that place for the first time.
Okay.
And I love experiencing those like amazing rides with people. And they really are, man.
Yeah.
Like you've
I
been
heard
to
they ruined the Tower of Terror.
Well, we can talk about that in a bit.
Okay.
But before we get to that, because I do want to talk about that. That's something that's very upsetting to me right now.
Okay.
But I love Disneyland. I would love to go with you guys. If you will have me, I would love to go with you guys.
Sure. Would you go to a wrestling thing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would go to a
absolutely.
wrestling thing before I go to a baseball thing. I think we talked about this.
Yep. We should spend the same amount of money that you would spend on a day in Disney, whatever the amount is, peak or off peak, whatever we end up doing, on wrestling.
Okay.
Because then we can get like fucking stupid close
Oh, yeah?
seats and have a dumb experience.
What's it like being that close to everything? You get sweat on you and it's gross?
I've never been close enough to get sweat on me. I touched Bret Hart once. That was
That's
a big
cool.
day.
When he walked through or
When
something?
he walked through after he lost. so it wasn't a happy touch. He said, "Get away from me." And he pushed my shoulder.
I love how like antagonistic they are to the audience. I think that's funny. You gave me an example of one that
the bad guys for sure.
Right?
Yeah,
it's kind of funny.
a lot of the bad guys like they spit on purpose upwards.
I like the
towards
one
audience.
we were at Frank and Son collectibles show this weekend, Mike and I, and we
Certainly were. What an adventure
that was so fun. And I shot some stuff, and I haven't even looked at the footage yet, and I haven't even gotten to really realize how bad the audio is. Probably,
I think it's gonna be horrible because it
Yeah.
was in that case the whole time.
well, we can just dub it. Anyway,
That would be actually really funny because we're so happy in all the shots.
Yeah, can you imagine having to recreate that happiness and that energy in it, like right here where we're recording the podcast?
I would watch that video. Is all I'm saying.
Maybe that's what we'll do. That'll be funny. There should be zero indication that it's dubbed though. It should be like Mike and Steve at Frank and Son's collectible show,
Everything's fine.
dubbed. Audio's great.
Brackets best audio.
Best audio. 4K audio. 1080p.
Yeah.
Every line of resolution audio. Like incorrect things about audio.
480 audio.
480i
Yeah.
audio. But you were pointing out a wrestling figure to me, and you were pointing out kind of like the intricacies of like the variations of figures and how some figures will come with accessories that are only pertaining to one instance.
One moment in time that happened for seconds.
Which I think I love that.
Yeah.
I have no basis of comparison for that in the toys I collect.
Well, it's
Except
a different world.
It's a totally different world, but but it's still toys. I mean, toys always will have a variation or like an accessory that you can only get. Like a lot of the things that I'll buy that will have like a special accessory will be something that like pertains to like whatever the movie they're from or whatever. Like if I buy a toy from an episode of a show, it'll have like whatever specific episode thing, but it won't be like Han Solo one time held a coffee mug.
Yeah.
And there won't be a Han Solo toy where he has that coffee mug.
Well, I would say yes. You're right.
Yeah.
But it had to have something to do with like their usually like.
Well, I
it's
guess
not
you're
an
right. It
ancillary
means
thing.
something. Right.
Right.
In this particular instance, you were telling me about a basketball.
There's a $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase figure.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is really the only way you get somebody to buy throughout the years 1,000 $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase figures.
Sure.
He comes with the $1 Million belt. I'm not gonna explain that to you.
Okay.
Just look it up. It's beautiful.
Okay.
It was made at a jewelry store.
Is it worth $1
Made of
million?
Golden time. That was the idea.
Right.
That they spend $1 million.
What is it actually worth, you think? About 50K?
Probably billions by this point. So there's also a basketball and a briefcase. The briefcase is filled with money, and the basketball played an integral part in this promo that he cut this time. $1 Million Man was just like, he was in the 80s and the 90s, and everyone hated him because he's just a rich piece of shit. He used to come out and he used to buy and sell people. He bought and sold the WWF title. He was a shitty man, okay? Did a lot of shitty things.
Uh-huh.
One time in particular, he came out on stage and he was being interviewed by Mean Gene Okerlund. He said, "I'll bet any amount of money and that no one in this audience can dribble this basketball 5 times. And if they do, I'll give him $100,000." So he opened up the briefcase and there's all this cash in the briefcase.
And the audience went nuts.
Audience
probably.
went nuts. We're finally going to get our comeuppance on this piece of shit. Right?
Right.
It's a fucking circus wrestling. This little tiny kid, adorable little kid, comes up on stage and he's like, "All you got to do is dribble this basketball 5 times, little guy. Look it up. It's on YouTube." This little kid, his eyes light up. He's in front of TV and everybody. Dribbles the basketball. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the $1 Million Man kicks the basketball off the stage. And you watch the joy melt off this child's face. And then it's like, it's not even like it would be today, like, "Oh, we'll give you a hat." Or like you go over there and you got free tickets or whatever. He just goes to sit with his family again. And this whole stadium erupts in like boos and like, "What? You made a little kid cry." The little kid's like trying to get away from the camera. The camera's like right in his face. He's like with his dad.
It's probably the most embarrassing moment of his life.
Incredibly embarrassing. So fast forward fucking over 20 years.
And that kid murdered him.
He's dead now. Dead in
Kid
cold
murdered
blood.
the $1 million boy.
He was on, right. He was on the first 48. I just saw him. So fast forward however many years later, and they have this figure referencing this one thing he did on
there.
cable television one time.
I love that. I
Yeah.
think that's great.
I
And
think
by
it's
the way, I think every kid in the world needs something like that to happen to them.
Yeah. That kid grew up real fast.
See, that's the thing. Like, if something like that had happened to me, I probably would have lost all my positivity at that moment. I would have been like, oh my God, this is what life is.
Oh, life is this bad.
Life isn't like people are nice to you no matter what for no reason.
Yeah.
Life is someone could kick that basketball
Yeah.
out from under you.
You want easy money? You're going to get a basketball kick.
You're going to get a basketball kicked out.
There's a lot of... Oops. Almost went too far. There's a lot of people...
What were you going to say, Mike?
I was going to say there's a lot of people who need the basketball kick. You know?
I appreciated that. How did we get to that? Because I
were
said we
talking
went to
about
Frankenson,
Disneyland. Yeah.
but how do we get from Disneyland to Frankenson?
You said we did that last weekend.
But like,
Oh, and then being really into stuff and wrestling, and you pointed out a wrestling figure.
but how do we get to like figures and stuff? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
You turned the thing on. You were like, "Okay, we're gonna start."
Here
the
we go,
podcast
and
now.
podcast now.
And then you hit.
By the way,
button.
speaking of wrestling, who we have here?
I don't know. Let's get a word.
Elizabeth.
You at this frankincense and myrrh place that we went to
At Frankenstein and Myrrh.
bought this 5x8 glossy.
At Bialystok and Bloom.
I'm not quite sure I have the aspect ratio.
That's
correct.
an 8x10 probably.
But you got this 8x10, one of the most famous 8x10s of the Macho Man Randy Savage. And you said you were going to put it up in your bathroom.
Yeah, but I realized there's only like 2 people that use my bathroom.
Yeah.
And one of them probably won't think this is very funny. Actually, that's not necessarily true.
I think anyone, it doesn't matter what walk of life you're from, you see this staring across at you while you're trying to poop.
Well, I would like for this to be in the bathroom that is like pretty much Owen's bathroom.
Okay.
But also like the public. Like if you come to my house,
Yeah.
to my apartment, and you need to use the restroom, you're going to use Owen's restroom.
Is that what I've been doing? This place has 2 bathrooms?
It has 2 bathrooms.
Wow. What a great apartment.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a stipulation, and it's a very
I think you
good
have
one.
3 guys in one studio apartment living fine.
Yeah.
As long as there was 3 bathrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's 2 of us. We need a 1.5 bed, 3.5 bath.
There were 3.
Nothing less.
There were 3. It was 2.5 bathrooms at the house that I lived in with Will and Darren and Sam. And the only problem that ever happened, and it happened like every once in a while, was that like the shower would be
Gross.
occupied.
Oh.
And there's 2 other guys that want to take a shower.
Was it gross there?
I mean, I had my own shower. I had my room. I had the master bedroom because I paid more.
Uh-huh.
So I had the master bedroom. And there was a bathroom in there. So
Yeah.
like I didn't really use their restroom, only to jerk off in and like leave sperm on the wall,
On the wall?
leave a little poop somewhere. I'd poop up the drawers. You ever pooped up the drawers before?
No.
What you do is you wipe up about 30%, and then you take the rest of that poo you got down there, you get a little on your pinky finger, and then you just do a little 1 Mississippi on the handle of the...
1 Mississippi.
Just Mississippi. 1 Mississippi. 2 Mississippi. How many drawers are there? 4? 3 Mississippi.
average
4
amount.
Mississippi.
So you put poop on your hands and you wipe it
Just
on the
my
drawer.
pink. I'm sorry, I'm not an animal. On my pinky, not on my hands.
You have shit on your own hands, and then you kid yourself into thinking that they got the worst of the deal.
It's my poop. I made it.
It worked for this.
Would you like to see this photo of Macho Man above Owen's toilet?
Okay.
Owen, would you be okay with it?
I think we got a real Harry Potter situation over there as far as I want to concerned. Are those candy pumpkins? I'm going to need one of those.
Yeah.
Can I have one of those?
Can we have a couple of them?
I don't need you to bring it to me. I'm just saying at some point, I'm going to eat a lot of those.
Those are so good. You know what I'm going to do, man? I'm going to buy a bunch of this.
You need a Halloween bowl,
Yeah.
and those need to be on that table.
That's why I don't buy candy. It's here, I eat it.
Owen and I were talking about how, like, Christmas, I don't really like to decorate for Christmas. I just realized this looks so much like a nipple.
It does.
It looks so much like a nipple.
People talk so much shit about candy corn, man.
Dude, those big pumpkin candy corn boys, look at the top of that. That looks like a nipple. Just the top, not the whole thing. Yeah, the green,
the bright
that
green.
looks so much like a
Fluorescent green
nipple.
part.
It's such a nipple. It's weird. We were talking about how I don't really like to decorate for Christmas necessarily, or sometimes it's fine. I'll put up a little tree or something, or maybe put some Christmas lights up. But I would prefer to decorate for Halloween. Like I like Halloween more, I think.
And Christmas?
Yeah.
I like
like Christmas
Halloween.
too. Christmas is a close second.
Yeah, I'm a Halloween baby. It was me and my grandma were real tight, and she was a Halloween proper baby.
Yeah.
30th or 31st, but I'm the 23rd, so I always had I associate my birthday with Halloween. I think it's awesome.
That's really cool.
That being said, I love putting up Christmas stuff because you can make anywhere feel like a cozy home. You can take something that was a shitty, bare, sad apartment and make it into a cozy home.
That's
what
true.
I think. Dude, there's something about playing video games or being I was going to say a little drunk, but that doesn't even, just relaxing.
Yeah. It's just
And
a cozy feeling.
The only lights on are either just the Christmas lights around a tree or the Christmas lights and a fire.
Yeah.
Or the Christmas lights, a fire, and a TV. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. You're right. That's nice.
I love that shit.
That is really nice.
I love that shit.
Sipping some
Most relaxing.
Yeah.
Any situation.
Uh-huh.
sipping some cocoa.
Yeah. Doing coke off the table.
Have you ever had figgy pudding?
Doing some relaxing cocaine.
Doing some ripping lines of relaxing cocaine off a table.
Is there a relaxing cocaine?
I don't know. I've never done that. It scares me.
Neither have I, and I never will.
Ever.
Doesn't need more candy.
What was your question that you just had?
Owen, bathroom. Randy Savage.
Sure.
That seems like you're being pressured.
No.
Do you think there's a better place for it?
No.
Do you think there's a better picture of the Macho Man that exists?
My problem is that I don't use your restroom ever. So I'll never see him.
Why wouldn't you put it in your fucking shit then?
Because it's just like I said, only 2 people will ever see it.
Yeah.
And that's I want to share the Macho Man.
Okay. Put it outside the door. Put it outside of your front
Outside
door.
my front door.
Yeah.
Well, this won't last long if I put it outside my front door.
If somebody takes that, put a camera on it.
It's so much setup.
I want to see who does it.
Can you describe what's going on with the Macho Man right
He is on what I would refer to as a stock background.
now? like a high school
100%.
photo.
Bluish background.
It's a 100% high school
That's in a
yearbook photo.
he's in a warehouse realistically with a what are they called?
backdrop.
Backdrop that somebody pulled. It's on a roll, right? Somebody pulled it down.
With
there are at least 8
two
other
poles.
rolls. Right. They chose that color. It's a blue background. He's in bright orange. There's sequins. There's
Blue
streamers.
with some cloud.
Yeah.
Some lighter blue cloud.
I'm onto him now. He's wearing glasses that match his jacket, which is almost impossible because of the sheer amount of glitter and lines, excitable lines. Dude, no one wore shit like him. He has a cowboy hat on.
and currently
for
no
some
one
reason.
does either.
No.
He does have a
the most
cowboy
part.
hat on.
He's
Why
a
do you think he
fucking
has a fucking
hat
cowboy
on.
hat on?
Who? Because it's flamboyant.
What was his thought process, you think? I mean, no one can... That's an unfair question. Because I don't think you have the answer. I don't think anybody
I have the
could.
answer.
Do you?
Are you real nerdy about some shit?
Yeah.
That was just barely real words. I'm going to say it again. Are you really nerdy about some shit?
Oh, absolutely.
I was chewing on candy corn and I apologize.
Yeah.
Do you know a lot of weird things about that shit?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I don't know when it's going to seep in, but I'm real into wrestling.
But you can tell me why he does that?
Uh-huh. His shit was so out of control because he would go tell the seamstress, I'm regretting the decision to eat.
I know, because we want to, but we shouldn't.
Yep. That's all it is.
Yeah.
He was a shorter guy.
Right.
So he was like, you got to give me the biggest feeling clothes that I could possibly.
How tall was he?
What does a cowboy hat do?
It makes you
gives
taller.
You a couple inches.
Yeah,
for
10-gallon hat. Yeah.
All of these things with his arms,
Straight lines down.
all
The
distracted
streamers or
from,
whatever
like,
the fuck that
how
is.
short he was and shit like that. He wasn't super short. I'm sure he was like, I think he was taller than me. I'm like 5'10".
Wow, shit. But he was short for a wrestler.
Short for a wrestler. So he needed to do things, especially like during his entrance, that would make him seem bigger than life.
Did anybody ever hear him talk without his ridiculous
That's the way he
straining
talked,
voice?
man. The way he talked was just like a softer version of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
What an enigma. I want a documentary about him. Does it exist?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
But I don't want it to just focus on his...
Oh, wait a minute. Yes, of course it does.
But I don't want it to just be focused on his famous wrestling stuff. I want to know about his life, baby.
You know that was most of his life.
Yeah, but what was going on outside the ring?
You take away the wrestling, you got a 20-minute doc.
What was going on outside the ring with that boy?
He played pro baseball before. He was a wrestler. He was in what some might call an abusive relationship
Yeah.
with one Miss Elizabeth, First Lady of Wrestling.
Abuser or abusee?
I don't want to speculate. You can watch the doc.
Okay. No spoilers.
Very intense family relationships.
We were told something by the man.
Loved beef jerky.
Is that a fact?
Loved and respected.
Did he love beef jerky or money?
He loved how much he got paid for the beef jerky.
He was a real lover of being paid for work.
Snapped into a different tax bracket.
Ooh, snap him into the tax bracket.
I'm comfortable for life.
Ooh, you buy these dog food sticks, you're gonna love them. I love him. I love Macho Man. I watch the video of him freaking the fuck out all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Of him talking about like, no more questions. Yeah. That video is one of my favorites of all time.
Yeah, man. When we first started hanging out, you were really into the Macho Man.
Yeah.
And you were watching his promos, I remember.
It's the best. It's the best stuff. It's so funny.
Yeah, it's great.
He's just so funny. Do you think that's like written or is he improvising?
No, back in that day, they were just like, I'm going to say, I got to think of something to say. They would film like 12 in a day, and he would look around. There were some where he just has like a coffee creamer,
right,
or a waste paper basket. And it's very clearly like that was in the corner of the room.
And he just grabbed it?
Yeah, he's like, now I'm going to make this work. Jake the Snake used to do the same thing. He used to, like, with him and his buddies, would be like, give me a word to work into this promo. You know? Like me and Elliot or Delman.
Wow, I love to do that.
Yeah. But now it's like everything is, they're very recently giving people a little bit more leeway, a very limited amount of people, a little bit more leeway, but everything's like fully scripted. There's a team of writers who are like 19.
Yeah.
So it's very different now, but back in that day, good shit. Always.
Wow. What a genius. What a comedic genius.
Yeah.
Did he know he was he funny? Like, do you think he knew he was being like funny? Or do you think he was just saying it because it was the first thing that came to his head?
I think it was what that character would have said.
But was he the character? Or was he playing a character that you don't think that's what he was really like in real life?
A lot of people say, I didn't know him. A lot of people say,
oh, I'm sorry, nerd. I'm sorry, nerd, for wrestling. Yeah, I know just about all I know. Yeah, I don't know all that stuff about it.
Do you know Luke Skywalking?
I mean,
you hang out with him?
I know that he's definitely a fictional character.
Yeah.
Do you think he was like putting on a show for sure?
I think it might have been a little turned up. I don't think it was much more than a little.
He's probably
up.
not at home being a maniac to his wife. Like, well,
if you listen to like Hulk Hogan, who was at one point his closest friend and his most bitter enemy, both in real life and in wrestling life, we just lost the rest of the people. If it wasn't for Metallica,
can we call
and
this
Harry
episode
Potter,
the most polarizing episode of Dynamic Banter ever?
Apparently, there wasn't much of a separation between Macho Man the person and Macho Man the character.
But you know what is interesting? Hogan.
I thought this whole conversation was interesting.
Well,
is it about to turn up?
Well, Hulk Hogan went off to have like a pretty popular racism. No, he went off to have a pretty popular movie career.
Yeah.
He ended up being a real popular racist. But he ended up having like a pretty like impressive movie career where he could act, and he did very well, I think.
Yeah.
But
in a lot of different things. He left on purpose to do that shit.
To be Hollywood Hogan, to later become Hollywood Hogan.
Yeah,
right?
Macho Man, if you remember, was in Spider-Man and shit.
Yeah,
like
but that's what I was going to say.
Not
Like when
like
you
the
saw
starring
Macho Man,
Yeah.
he was like still doing Macho Man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think, did Macho Man ever, was he ever in any movies where he wasn't Macho Man?
Not that I can recall.
Like, I know he was Bonesaw in
Yeah.
Spider-Man, but that's technically still being Macho Man.
It's just yeah. Macho Man who wore different stuff. He didn't even wear that.
No,
different-
not really.
Yeah.
I wonder if he ever did any roles where he wasn't really playing the Macho Man character.
Hulk Hogan was always kind of like Hollywood larger than life.
Yeah.
And Macho Man was always very much more wrestling based.
Yeah.
Macho Man, it's a widely held belief that Macho Man and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat at WrestleMania 3 had like one of the greatest, if not the greatest, wrestling match that has ever been put on. So
Do you feel that way?
What's up?
Do you feel that way?
Yes.
Cool.
It's amazing to watch, and you don't have to be a fan to like they tell the story in the ring and blah 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 blah. I talked a lot about this on Sam's and DJ's podcast this weekend. But I think he was more of an artist for that business, and Hulk Hogan was always like, he definitely like loved wrestling, and he was the biggest thing in the world for a long time. And then he left the business specifically to make it in Hollywood. And I don't know that Randy Savage ever did that.
Huh.
Or ever had those intentions.
Did he at least ever like do a different, because like Hulk Hogan became Hollywood Hogan,
Yeah.
and like other wrestlers became something else,
Yeah.
and like did a lot of different personas. Did Macho Man ever do that?
He would go back and forth between like what they call heel and face. So he would be, as most wrestlers do, he would just be different kind of variations. He was the good guy and a bad guy a million times. He was the Macho King for a while after I think he won the King of the Ring tournament. So he was doing this whole like king gimmick, but it was still him, but it was like the royalty version of him.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Was
And
it
then-
always gold with him, or do you think there were some times where you're like, it's all right?
There was not really any breaks in wrestling. There's no like writer's breaks. There's
Right.
no seasons.
Right.
So when it's like YouTube. It's like when you're doing that much for that long, there's always some stuff that's like miss.
Yeah.
So it can't all be gold.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's a legend for a reason.
legend
It was
for a-
more on than not.
Well, I want to say real quick, rest in peace to the man. He's
Absolutely.
been gone for some time, and it's sad. We feel the loss.
Yeah.
And it's a great thing to have this photo in my home. So
I
thank
think
you.
it's terrific. I think it belongs near candles.
I would love to do that.
That's
I
cool
had
that-
it on the piano.
It's
where
cool that you're going to put it by a toilet, though.
I think he would have appreciated that.
Well, you never know.
You know, I had it like resting over where you would put music sheets on a piano.
Yeah.
I had it over there. Mm-hmm. And I moved it for this so that we could sit with him.
I like
so
it.
he can join us.
It makes me more comfortable for sure.
Do you don't think it's weird that I have had a mic up to his mouth the whole time? Do you?
100%
with the
weird.
level up.
Were you expecting it to?
Sometimes I feel like if you hope and pray and wish enough, some magic will happen.
You're not totally wrong about that. In this case, that's you.
See,
You're
that was Macho Man. They'll hear the track when it happens when they listen to it later. All right. Well, we're getting to about the end here, so I think we should get our history roads started. But I want to tell you the joke Will said really quick.
Before you say that, I want to say I'm not going to this party.
For sure you're not?
It's 8:40 right now. You can't get to Abbott Kimmy's.
Abbott Jimmy.
You can't get to. It sounds like a roast beef shop. You go down to Abbott Jimmy's, have yourself a.
Well, I feel bad now, Mike. I feel like I made you miss your party.
Well, we all have a lot of stuff to do, I guess.
Yeah. Are you bummed out?
Not a lot. Does that make it easier?
Did you know that these are made with honey?
No.
I didn't know either.
Real honey.
These little, like, candy corns, these pumpkins, mellow cream pumpkins, are made with honey, apparently. Did you know that, Owen?
I think so.
I thought it was just like plain sugar. One time my dog ate one of these and was like shitting blood. So we were on the Star Tours line at Disneyland, and so like when you get into the ride building, there's a giant replica of the spaceship you're about to get into. It's giant. It's real sized.
So you can really get a good look at it.
You can get a real good look at it before you get into ride. It's like when you see a GMC truck before you get into it.
That's a pretty smart setup.
It's a great setup. Dude, the Imagineers, they are fucking great. They've made some great, amazing stuff. Yeah, that's what they're called, Imagineers.
Okay.
Yeah, that totally helps sell the illusion for
And,
the ride.
and not only that,
Wait a minute. Are there Imagineers at other places or just at Disneyland?
it sets them apart from the rest
Can I ask you a question?
to call them Imagineers.
Do you think there are any Imagineers working at Subway?
Definitely not. In order to be an Imagineer, you have to work at Disneyland or Disney,
Yeah.
and you have to be making rides.
There's no Imagineers at Bed Bath & Beyond?
No,
Okay. Jiffy Lube?
Walt Disney came up with that term, by the way, Imagineer. He called his team Imagineers.
Arby's.
Yeah, Owen's right. It sells the illusion to have the like, wow, I just spit a strange amount of spit onto my arm. And I felt it and was surprised.
You do that sometimes.
It's weird.
You're back in it.
It really does sell the ride that there's this gigantic, because basically the way Star Tours is set up is that like you're going into like a spaceship airport.
Cool.
Like a Star Wars, like imagine in the Star Wars universe what their airport is.
Okay. Like civilian airport?
Yeah, or aliens. There's like aliens and like it's like in space with the other planets and stuff. And this airport is called Star Tours.
Okay.
And it takes you to like all the other planets to like go on little sightseeing tours and stuff.
Sky City?
Sky City.
Does it go there?
It's called Cloud City.
Cloud City? Does it go to Cloud City?
There's an advertisement for it,
Okay.
but you don't get to go there.
That's too bad. I would love to go there. Skytown.
So in the ride area with the giant spaceship there, R2D2 is sticking out of the top like a real R2D2, and he's like popping in and out and making R2D2 sounds. And then right next to him is C3PO
Yeah.
on this like loading dock thing, going like, "Ooh, we are about to take off and blah blah blah. Welcome to Star Tours."
I'm nervous for no particular reason.
I'm a robot who's nervous.
Somebody programmed me to be nervous.
You know what? It's weird because I heard that C3PO is modeled after a car salesman.
Worse.
Isn't that true,
car
Owen?
salesman.
That's so weird. Like a shifty, nervous car salesman? I don't know. It's weird. Anyway.
Do you know the Kelly Blue Book value?
On this Buick? I'm fluent in over 6 million forms of communication, and I can sell you this Toyota Camry. Anyway, so they're all up there, and they're fully robotic, and it's cool, and you're like, fuck, I'm in Star Wars, and it's really exciting. You look up, and there's some Admiral Akbar guys looking out the window, and they're like, it's fun shit.
Yeah.
There's announcements over the thing that's like, your car is going to be towed, or your spaceship's about to be towed, and shit like that. It's really cool.
Does somebody always, like a dad joke, does somebody always pat their pockets to find their keys? And they're like, your spaceship's about to be towed.
I bet
was like,
they do.
Oh, well, kids, is that the... Oh, no, we
I
have a
bet
van.
some dads have done that for sure.
All right, I like it.
I'm not looking at any dad's pants and waiting for that to happen while I'm there, but I'm sure it's happened.
Take a look at a dad's
I'm not seeing
pants,
what dad's hands are doing. I'm not looking at dad hands while I'm at Disneyland.
All right.
Dadhands.com. Anyway.
Oh, and where's the hat?
So I was
/ dad hands.
I was with Will, and we passed the C3PO and R2D2, and he's asking me all these questions, and then suddenly we come up to this door on our left side that goes to nowhere. It must be like a cast member like access area to get to the backstage of the ride.
Sure.
And he goes, "What's through that door? Is that C3PO's garden?"
Legitimately the first thing that came to his head.
C3PO's garden. And you know what's funny to me? To someone that's never really given a shit about Star Wars,
Yeah.
C3PO could very well have a garden.
Just a nervous garden.
He's where he de-stresses.
Yeah.
He works with his petunias.
That's the one time he's at peace.
Oh, finally, I'm in my garden. I feel so calm
Who's
here.
thirsty?
Who wants some water? I bet the aliens
Tomatoes
do.
are thirsty.
How are my cucumbers?
Water for the cucumbers.
Oh, no, dear. But I laughed so hard at that. Because,
Yeah.
like, imagine C3PO having a fucking garden.
He would have a
What
Zen
would be
garden.
the point of a robot having a garden?
What's the point of making him nervous? It's the same. He can, in a world where that robot is nervous, he could absolutely have
You know
a
why that
garden.
robot's nervous? It's not because it's afraid for its life. It's because it's a robot being put in situations that it was not meant to be put in. It's a robot that literally is a translator, and it was thrown onto a starship and going through dangerous adventures.
He's out of his element.
He's out of his element. He's not used to it. He doesn't want to be in a spaceship while they're flying through an asteroid field.
No.
And he's definitely going to tell people the odds of surviving it.
Who programmed him to be nervous?
Someone programmed him to just translate words,
Listen, if you're
not to be a space adventure robot.
and if you're in a situation where what the fuck is happening back there?
Owen's
if
not
you're
doing okay.
in a situation where you're not translating words, you're going to want to act like this.
More like if you're not in a situation where you're translating words, you should react the way a human would.
Yeah.
Because it's a protocol droid, and it's kind of like a human cyborg relations robot.
Sure.
So it's supposed to kind of emulate humans.
Would you say that C-3PO in all the Star Wars movies is reacting the way the audience is supposed to react?
A nervous audience member.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just a nervous, scared, not really enjoying the movie
Yeah.
audience member.
But I'll never forget C-3PO's garden.
Yeah.
Because it's so fucking funny to me that C-3PO would have a fucking garden.
I like it.
Why would he tend to a garden? All right.
Who knows?
Well, let's do this history road, and we'll get you to that party that starts at 9 o'clock. Was it 8:45? You'll get there.
Ends at 9, it was.
Stephen Smith wrote us this email, and the subject line says, History Road, the dread of an inquiring mind. This continues Mike's description of the crazy old lady story on episode 13.
Oh, shit. I had another interaction with her.
You did?
Yeah. You can keep playing. This will be part of it. It's very
Tell
short.
us.
Woke up super early on Sunday, and I was walking to go get my coffee, as I do.
Right?
What do? You leave pauses for him to accentuate things?
You could.
Is that what you do?
It's nice.
Is that when he works
I
best?
think the audience likes it.
When he works best.
No one likes it.
I see it now. It does work a lot better when
It's
he
nice,
leaves
right?
space.
Dramatic.
Anyway, I was walking to get my coffee. Okay?
Yar.
On the way there, I went a way that I don't normally go. I usually go down the alley. But here, I went down by the main street.
Okay.
She lives across the street from me, but she was on my side of the street.
Right?
She's picking up garbage by the side of the road and yelling at the garbage as she
So-
did it.
Checks out. Checks out.
She's picking up garbage, and she was yelling, kind of babbledy-gook.
Sure.
And she said something like, the street cleaning. The street cleaning is not even now. And then she said a bunch of other things, and then she capped it off by saying, they'll sue you for anything. That was it.
They'll sue you for anything.
Sue you for anything, with like arms filled with garbage that she was like cleaning up off the street.
I think she's like, she likes cleaning up the garbage, but she's also complaining about it. Maybe she just likes things clean.
That's quite possible.
Yeah. God, I want to get her on the show, Mike.
You should make a strong... She was standing out on her deck today.
Oh my God.
Normally where she yells at traffic, and traffic has been loud lately.
I gotta know which deck it is.
I'm on the same wavelength as her sometimes.
Because you understand the frustration with the traffic?
A lot of people beep outside where we live
They
too
do.
much for too long.
And it sucks.
I get up and I go out on the deck and I try to see who it is. And I would yell at them if I knew who it was.
That's, yeah, I get it.
So I'm going to be her soon.
Can you tell me which balcony it is?
Yes.
Is it the one right above the garage? Like literally right above it?
I'll let you know.
Oh boy, here we go. As she appeared to me with her bony talons, she calls hands, she took a hold of me. With her abnormal strength, she dragged me into a place I could only describe as her world. As I pick myself up from the ground, I witness my surroundings. A hellish landscape that added a shockwave of terror and yet even more curiosity. My devilish opponent standing 50 feet from where I stand. The creature stands at what seems at 10 feet tall, about double of what she was in my dimension. So she pulls me into her dimension. I look around trying to find anything that I could use as a weapon. I don't recognize anything. I stand tall, awaiting the creature to make the first move. I observe her to try to find a way to counter whatever attack that she can throw at me. Her head is shaking rapidly, as if possessed, or something that would possess others. Her mouth open wide, as if in her last breath she was screaming. This is fucking terrifying. She starts running at me with supernatural speed. At the last second, I roll out of the way. I start losing hope in my ability to win this fight. I focus on defense rather than offense. She moves unpredictably like an animal. I can't tell what her next move will be. Although her blatant aggression toward me is intimidating, it is equally curiously. I take a bite out of my annoyingly loud snack. The sound of the bag rustling makes the hellish figure take a step back. After the first moment of confusion, she called out. A ear-busting shriek that forces me to cover my ears in pain. Shh. 1. Shh. 2. Shh. At that moment, a cat, going up about halfway to her, It seems to be her pet. The cat's hair matching with hers. Eye bold light gray. To be continued.
Well, I am on the edge of my seat. Till next time, everybody. Thank you for your ears and your patience.
At that moment, a cat going up about halfway to her. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. I don't think I can ignore this. These are 3 sentences that almost make no sense.
Maybe they'll make sense in the second part of the story.
Let me read them once more.
Okay.
At that moment, a cat going up about halfway to her. Period.
I wish C-3PO was here right now. Bless you.
The next sentence starts with it's. Without the proper punctuation. So it's not it is, it's it's. It seems to be her pet. Period.
Yeah.
The cat's hair matching with hers. Period. This last sentence is pretty fantastic. Eye bold light gray. Period. You know those little red squiggles underneath the words you type? Yeah. Usually those mean something wrong. But you know what? God bless you. Like Vince Gilligan would say, because I think it makes it so much better.
It really does.
I'm sorry if it is not great, that it was unintentional.
Yeah.
But man, I love it.
That's
and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Also, to be fair, that's how most of the things that I write look before I read them again.
Can I just say to you, Stephen Smith, keep on ignoring those squiggles, will you? Because when you continue this story, I would love to see a couple more of them.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about intentional ones, because I can tell.
We could always tell.
Mike, thank you. I'm sorry you missed your party, man.
That's
I
okay.
feel bad.
I mean,
I do feel bad.
A show premieres once, you know?
Maybe.
I think. That's always been my thing.
Well, cheers to you, Mike Falzone. Owen Carter, thank you for playing them Kim.
The guy who screws up and then gives up.
Those kids.
Thanks
for playing History Road for us, Owen. If you guys want to send us your own History Roads, please send them to dynamicbanter@gmail.com. If you want to tweet at Mike and I, please use @dynamicbanter on Twitter. And please leave a review on the iTunes, because that's so helpful and awesome and nice. We don't ask you guys to do much, but it would be really nice if you'd leave us a review. Even if you don't like the show, give us 1 star, 5 stars, whatever you want. Constructive criticism, unconstructive criticism, whatever you want. I would like to hear it. I want to hear from you guys. I want to know if we're doing the right thing here. So go ahead and do that, please, if you will. If you have time, it's very easy. And thank you so much for listening to the show. Mike, anything else you want to say?
Nope.
Thanks a lot, guys. Bye-bye.
That was a HeadGum podcast.